Hello and welcome to Shutter Study. Now, when it comes to cameras and technology, there's so much terminology that goes around that is enough to make your eyes spin. However, here at Shutter Study, we decided to help get some of the most common terminology that people get confused by and help make it understandable for all to see. Rule of thirds. This is where you divide an image up into 3 separate horizontal and vertical sections. This is done to help get a better composition when taking your photograph. If you see numbers that look like this, then these are the shutter speeds of your camera. When it looks like this, it means the camera is opening and closing its shutter at 1,000th per second, which is really fast. If it's something like this, then it means the camera is opening and closing at 2 seconds, which is considered a long exposure. And normally the phrase exposure is often used when describing shutter speeds. If you see the letter F followed by more numbers, this is known as an f-stop or aperture. This is showing how much light and focus is coming into your camera. The lower the number, the more light passes through, but the less focusing option it has. The higher the number, the less light passes through, but more focusing options are available. This causes such an effect like the background being blurred or not when taking a picture of your subject. The element of control behind this is called depth of field. ISO is the sensitivity of your camera to light. The higher the number, the more sensitive and more grainy your picture will be. If your image is appearing blurry without anyone being clear, it is probably because it's out of focus. The focus setup of a camera is usually identified by green squares on the screen or the image being nice and sharp. When looking at DSLRs, RAW is a word that often comes up with them. This is the highest image type that's available in photography. What makes it unique is that it saves additional information so you can edit it further when you get into the Photoshop stages. This would be similar to editing with a film in a darkroom as opposed to using a picture. When it comes to taking pictures, you get different looks when taking them in a wide angle or up close. This is known as focal length, which is determined by the little numbers on a lens, which they in themselves are represented in millimeters. The lower the number, the wider the angle is. The higher the number, the more narrower it is. The method of keeping the colours of the image looking natural and correct, that is called white balance. Optical zoom is when you use your camera to zoom in before you've taken your photo. This is done in a much better method as opposed to digital zoom, which actually crops into the photo and you lose resolution. The method used to measure the different lens and sensor ranges is also known as crop factor. If you've seen letters like these on your camera, they refer to image stabilization. Canon trademarked the term image stabilization, so other manufacturers have had to choose alternative names. CMOS and CCD are both different sensor types available in cameras. The SD on an SD memory card doesn't stand for SanDisk, but rather secure digital. What you see here is not a misspelling of lion, but rather stands for lithium ion. This is a type of rechargeable battery that's available in cameras. SLR stands for single lens reflex, which means the camera has a viewfinder that sees through the lens. On Sony, the SLT stands for single lens translucent, and CSC stands for compact systems camera. We'll be covering more of these over the next few episodes as we take a closer look at the tools of the trades, the cameras that are available, and the types that they come in. Thank you for watching Shutter Study. If you have any further questions, feel free to post in the comments below, ask on our Facebook, Twitter or Tumblr. If you'd like to learn more with Shutter Study, feel free to subscribe.